Hall of Famer Dan Marino joining us here in the Man Cave. During the commercial break, we had Patrick Peterson here. The Cardinals said he grew up watching Dan.
Right.
And then he wanted to catch a pass from you, and then he dropped it. He said, I'd love to have an interception from Hall of Fame quarterback. So he drops it. Then
it was a little low, but you said it was
it's catchable. It was right?
Definitely catchable.
Yeah. And then he asked for an autograph. He said, Mr. Marino, can I get an autograph from you?
Well.
Mr.
Thanks.
Marino?
Yeah, Mr. Marino.
Does anybody else call you Mr. Marino?
Not a lot of people.
But he couldn't have, he was like starstruck because he grew up
He grew up in Broward County there and played high school football down there while I was playing, so maybe that's why.
What's the one question you get every year at this time? Is there a common
one? The one question that I get a lot is, the fact that I played out here 30 years ago in the Super Bowl. Yesterday I did a lot of radio and stuff, and that's what it was. I played 30 years ago. I didn't win, that kind of thing. So
what do you remember? What positives do you remember?
Well, the positive was being in the game, having the opportunity to win that Super Bowl playing against the 49ers. What I remember now is that the week just went right by. The next thing I knew, there's the game. We're playing the game, and then when it was over, I was like, I wish we could play this again tomorrow or the next day, because it's just, we lost, and it just seemed like it happened so fast, And I was 23 years old, and I thought that I would be back again for sure. I'm 23, we got Duper, got Clayton, we got some good players on this team. We'll be back, and I'll win a Super Bowl, and it never happened. That's why you got to take advantage of it when you have your opportunity.
If you would play that game again.
Right.
Were they still the better team, or?
They had with Ronnie Lott, that group, Carlton Williams, their defense was rated the best defense in the league that year, as far as yards and giving up points. So, I'd like to think that it could be different, but you never know.
When you see Joe Montana or Steve Young?
I saw Joe yesterday.
What's the conversation like?
We actually did a little thing for CNN together, and we talked about our wines that we're doing. And we had some wine, and then we just talked about, maybe that Super Bowl back then. And it was on camera, so we did an interview on camera.
But not much football?
No, not much football. Other stuff. How's your family? What's going on? What's going on with your kids? That kind of thing.
And I got into this discussion with Rich Eisen yesterday, where we look at Peyton Manning, and he's got one Super Bowl that he won.
Sure. So
the difference between going 1-3 and 2-2 with legacy, does that change people's perspective of Peyton with two Super Bowls instead of one?
Well, I'm a little different. It won't change my perspective because, he's one of the greatest players at that position, of all time. So if he wins, I guess for the average person are going to look at it and say, yeah, well, he's got two Super Bowl wins now. But, he's a Hall of Famer. He got all the records. He's got everything that you can do in the sport, and especially he has won a Super Bowl. So, his legacy is already set. It doesn't matter one way or the other if he wins the game or not. Now, for him personally, it would be awesome for him to win. It would be awesome for him to win this game, and I think there's a lot of fans out there that like to see him win it and go out on top.
But we look at quarterbacks, and that's usually when you decide who's better than somebody. Well, except for Bradshaw. Bradshaw doesn't get into the conversation of greatest quarterbacks of all time, and I'm not sure why, because he's got 4 Super Bowls.
Yeah, I don't, it's not for me to say. It's not for me. He's a Hall of Fame quarterback. I grew up loving Terry Bradshaw, Pittsburgh Steelers, and the whole group. So,
but just because Montana's got 4,
so there's different eras. I would say it's got to be kind of different eras. Some of the older guys, the guys in the 80s and 90s, and now, the guys that are playing now. So that's how I would probably look at it in that perspective.
Talking to Dan Marino.
That's all I got. That's the best I got for you right there.
But your style now, I'm talking about your personality.
Uh-huh.
How would the media, social media, everybody, because we notice everything. Now everybody's got an opinion on, but you were demonstrative. You demanded greatness there. How do you think you would be treated now?
Because of I kind of wore my emotions on my sleeve and was out there, and I would yell and scream a little bit, and not necessarily at other players, as me, because a lot of times I was upset at me, and you look at the camera and they look like, oh, he's yelling at Duper, he's yelling. Well, I did that some, some, but how would I be treated? I'm not sure. I think I'd be treated okay. Everybody has their different personalities. And you play the way that you're going to get your best performance out of yourself and other players, and that's really what you have to do.
Has the quarterbacking position changed that much in the last 30 years?
I think it's that's a tough question. No, I don't think it's changed that much, except they do a lot more at the line of scrimmage now as far as, getting your offense in the right play, or at least trying to do that. And then I would say also the protection and the blitzes, the defensive fronts, how they get guys standing up and the zone blitzes and the different looks that you get. There's probably more looks you get now than you did back in the 80s.
But you still have to be able to throw from the pocket.
There's no doubt.
Nothing has changed.
That part is not changed. I mean, some of the how they run the schemes and that kind of thing has changed some.
Did you realize what you were doing 30 years ago with spreading? You were doing, 3 wide back then?
We did 3. Sometimes we did 4, a little bit of that. The year in 84 that we were just trying to win football games, and we didn't. I didn't look at when we were doing it, and we ended up breaking records and all that other stuff. At the time, we were just trying to have fun, win games, and it just kind of happened. It was one of those things at the end of the year. So, wow, we got, I had 48 touchdowns. We threw for 5,000 yards. Clayton broke the touchdown receiving record. All that happened, but we were playing games that were important. So at the end of the year, Dallas Cowboys we had to win that game to get home field advantage. So we were still throwing it around a little bit.
But you see what the Patriots use it almost as a running game. So it can be like 3 yards, 4 yards.
Sure.
We didn't
do a lot. No, we were more down the field. Everything that we did was coming off vertical patterns.
You were ahead of your time.
Thank you.
No, you were. In today's NFL,
that group with Duper, Clayton.
If I put that group today, today's rules that you can throw for 55 passes if you want. So you threw for 5,000 yards back then at 48.
Then we could do it again, definitely.
No, you would do more than that.
We could do more. I don't have to prove it, so 6,000 at least. Right? 6,500. I mean,
why stop there?
Pick a number. 60 touchdowns.
How many touchdowns do you think you would throw in today's at 23 years of age with that group? Be honest.
Yeah, we probably over 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are we getting close to 60?
It all depends if they stay in the games now and play to the end. I mean, they would take us out of games at the end of the games, but Coach Shula would do that. So we probably could have put up some more numbers. We're actually trying to do that. We weren't. We're just trying to win the game.
Now it's all about numbers.
No, it's not. No. These guys, it's about winning. Brady and Peyton Manning, Roethlisberger, it's all about winning.
Well,
but they like the numbers. The numbers are good.
Well, fans assess greatness with numbers. Like we'll look at you with fantasy numbers, and all of a sudden,
sure.
So our
that's
perspective
because
is
of
different.
The fantasy.
Yes. So we look at you different.
I agree. So I brought Fitzy a gift.
Okay, can we come back because I want to have you do the plug.
Come back.
Because we're going to do the Dan Marino.
No, you're not allowed to come back. No breaks.
No breaks. I'm taking a break.
Okay.
This is my team.
You got it.
Yeah. We're going to do a Dan Marino sound-alike, the cadence contest that I think we do every year, and I think I win it every year. So we'll do the Dan Marino line of scrimmage cadence contest.
Great. I can't wait for this.
Yeah, I'm sure. You love this every time. And we'll talk to Dan about all the great work he's done for Nutrisystem, and Fritzy, of course, is taking advantage of the Turbo 10 program.
Good.